3, 2, 1, go!
Teams are preloaded with one of those game pieces during the autonomous and pre-program period. It takes up the first 15 seconds, and teams hoping to deliver that somewhere on the field of play. They do need to leave that black tape line and stay off of it to get additional game points. Both of those teams appearing to get that ranking point. However, the Blue Alliance, continue to score additional game pieces. That's 54-02 Reckless Robotics. Successfully placing a lot of game pieces there at the top part of the reef. They were worth 7 in the autonomous, but as we continue in the teleoperated, those were now worth 5 points each, scoring at the top part of that reef. The remaining 2 minutes and 50 seconds is all teleoperators. Human players pick up the drivers, controllers, and drive the robots their team built over the past 10 weeks. Team 1018, that's Pike Robo Devils, continue to pick up game pieces from their coral station and deliver them onto the reef areas. They're successfully placing on the top part of the reef, worth 5 points for the Alliance. All the game pieces in this year's game, except for the algae in the processor, are scored manually using volunteer scorers. That's those blue shirts you see around the field paired up with each of those refs at that scoring tablet. Team 8564 to the Disco Ducks continue to pick up game pieces from their human player station. A lot of teams making use of a hopper-based mechanism to pick up game pieces from that wide distribution area and provide it to a smaller area for their elevator to pick it up. Elevator usually picks up that game piece and then scores it onto the reef, which the Blue Lions has gone ham on. 95-54 continue to make games in their Portage Python ways. Scores currently 42-65 in favor of the Blue Lions, with 1 algae scored by each Alliance. That means Red Alliance probably snuck 1 into the processor, which 6 points for the Red Alliance. That's then passed over to the Blue Alliance human player, which then successfully placed it into the net. Teams will need to place 2 algae east in the processor to lower that ranking point threshold, which the Blue Alliance is currently making their way towards with 45 seconds remaining in the match. Scores continue to be 83-53, about 30 points difference there. Red Alliance can make that up with scoring lots of points in the coral, but also in the end game period if they can get elevated off the ground and get points for not just Park alone. 94-91 continuing to make headway. That's one of the Crypto Creek teams. They're continuing to make good pressure and apply scoring opportunities for their Alliance. With 20 seconds remaining, we'll hold that sonar ping. There it was. Teams will start making their way over to the cages and get elevated off the ground to score additional points for their Alliance. The longer the chain, the more points they'll gain. Team 1018 with that deep cage that's lower to the ground, so it's a lot harder to climb around. They do need to get attached to that cage. They can't contact the top part of that plane. But once they're successfully elevated, they'll get lots of points for their Alliance. But that's all the time we had for qualification match 10 here at the Finn District Washington event, presented by University of Vincennes Center for Applied Robotics and Automation in Toyota, Indiana. Stick tight for those scores. 6, so nearly a 30-point difference, and we can see that in the coral and in the barge. They're going to get all 6 of those available ranking points for that narwhal match, which is a unicorn of the sea. So all those teams will move up in the rankings since their ranking point average has increased due to getting those 3 ranking points for winning, 1 for their work in autonomous, another for their work in the endgame barge, and the highly sought-after coral ranking point for filling up 5 coral on all 4 of those levels. Stick tight for